Meet us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. Hey guys, this is Phil from Untitled.com, and this is Meep tablet from Oregon Scientific, which I don't know how to review it. The main reason being is it's slow. It's amazingly slow. But before we get to that details, if that's going to be counted as a detail, let's get started from the hardware. It's got a screen with the super low resolution that's probably going to hurt both your and your children's eyes, and a camera, a terrible camera, and nothing to the right. There's a power key, there's a power slider, and an LED light on the top. There's nothing to the left, but if you take this cover off, there's a SD card slot if you ever want to expand the storage of this horrible device. There's a speaker and the microphone port and the charging port, mini USB port, and the HDMI port if you want to stream any of the Meep's contents to the television, which I suppose that you wouldn't. You can power that on, and as soon as I got the device, and from the store that I got, they never told me to get it. They actually intensively told me not to get it, but I somehow did, mostly because it was really cheap, and I was interested. How bad can an Android device how bad can an Android device be? So out of curiosity, I got this, and obviously curiosity kills the cat or the frog, or whichever emphasis you want to use. So I started setting it up as I usually would with any Android devices, and this is the launcher that I set. I usually have Nova Launcher. As soon as I was done setting it up, I wanted to start with a simple web browsing. So I went to the Untitled.com homepage. I tapped on it and I launched Firefox for it, and I gave it time. After some time, until it started popping up with a tab, and then it starts loading. If you are curious about it, we are connected to the gigabit Wi-Fi network, although this guy doesn't support it, so it's not the network capacity that's causing this problem. It's simply slow with that single core processor and 384 megabytes of RAM. So after few 10 seconds, it starts showing the text and some backgrounds, and then you'll have to give a few more seconds for it to pop up the ads on top. So let's give it some more time until it does. You can try scrolling. It's not going to work as you want, but you can. Okay. All right. I don't think they're going to be wasting our time watching that. So we're going to go back to the launcher if we can. All right, so we're popped up back to the launcher without anything, not because I didn't put any icons on it, because it lags when it takes you back to the home screen. So we're going to give it some seconds. We're going to give it some time. And more time. And since it's not there still, oh, it showed up with bar. Finally, we have the launcher back. All right, so we can go to the app drawer to launch something else. And here's the number of the apps. So as you can see, it's an amazingly sluggish performance that we see. I went to check for the CPU-Z. Now this guy takes a little while to load up, and we see the specs for it. It's got an all-winner A10 that's 1.2 gigahertz of a single core processor, and it's got a 306 megabytes of RAM and 1.7 gigabyte of internal storage. So given that specs, you see where I'm getting at. So I started thinking maybe it's because I was too adult-oriented and I set up in the normal Android ways. Maybe if I start using it as it's intended to be with the Meep Home, the built-in launcher for kids, maybe the things are going to be a little different. So I started going back to the Meep Home, and here we go. So we're at the home screen, and there are two sides divided, and this is the app launcher side that you'll want to see. So I started going to the album pictures over here. All right, so here's the pictures. I tap on it and I give it some time, and I wondered what that button is, so I try tapping on it, and this is the different way of seeing your photos. Those are all built in, so you can tap on it to load the picture. And if I ever want to go back to the grid, you can tap on that again. So I wondered, kids are not gonna want to see pictures all the time. Maybe they'll want to web browse sometimes. That's what a tablet is for. They call this a tablet. So I started getting into the built-in browser. I tried firing up Google, google.com, done. All right, so you have to give it a few seconds, and then here's a browser. So it successfully loaded up the Google screen, although it lags in the scrolling the Google front page. You can zoom in or zoom out. Amazing. All right, so the other features include its own apps. Let's go to a section called apps. Of course, it takes time, and then now this guy is empty too. So if I want to change it to the roll, there's nothing. And it froze. Oh, it's not responding. Okay. Would you like to close it? Yes, I would. Okay, so I actually tried to understand this device in every single dimension that I could. I tried using it rooted. It was actually pre-rooted. I tried using it as the stock. There's actually an app called Safety. Give it a few seconds. It's gonna fire something up. Hopefully, give it some time. Okay, finally, it fires something. So if you're getting this as a toy for yourself as an adult, then it's definitely going to affect negatively on your mental health. And if you are a kid, if you're giving this to your children or whoever that unfortunate kid would be, this is terrible in two ways. First one is utterly slow. It's going to always going to be really bad on your mental health. And secondly, the screen is simply horrible. The resolution is too low, and viewing angle is terrible. You see how those little letters look like. Your kids or your children's eyesight is definitely going to hurt with this thing. So most of the times when you go to the stores, they want you to buy it, whatever that is. But when a store tells you not to buy it, despite it's one of their products, there's a reason. There's a reason. Always keep that in mind, unless you really want to sacrifice yourself to make the Meep world a better place. I don't think that's going to ever happen. Don't buy anything that the store doesn't suggest you to, okay? I think we have a very clear answer, and I actually wanted to end this video by throwing this away, but thanks to this little rubber casing, I don't think this ever is going to break, so I would have to take another approach. I'll find that out, and I'll let you know. That was Oregon Scientific Meep. Yeah, that was very stressful. I hope it wasn't stressful of an experience for you watchers. So we'll see you guys later with the better devices, obviously. Bye.